You didn't scroll past it. It was already gone, before your eyes even registered that it existed. Most of what could have appeared in front of you never made it to the screen. You think clicking is a decision, that you see something and then choose. But by the time you see it, the selection is already over. You don't decide what matters, you're shown what survived. Selection begins before awareness. The visible layer is not the full field. It is the result of what remained after conditions were applied. Before anything reaches you, it is reduced, filtered, ranked. Most of it disappears without ever becoming visible. Not because it failed, because it didn't meet the conditions required to exist for you. Reduction happens before perception. Filtering defines possibility. Ranking determines exposure. Visibility is not a property of content. It is a result of selection. Existence in your reality is conditional. You think noticing just happens, that if something is there, you'll see it. But noticing has requirements: time, contrast, interruption. If nothing slows you down, nothing stands out. And if nothing stands out, it never becomes real to you. Perception is not automatic. It is conditional. Attention requires a break in continuity, a deviation from flow. Without interruption, there is no signal. Without signal, there is no registration. And without registration, there is no event. Nothing is being removed. You're not rejecting anything. You're just moving. And the faster you move, the less anything can stay. Not long enough to matter. Not long enough to register. So it passes. Not because it was unimportant, because it never had time. Speed does not accelerate perception. It compresses exposure. Duration defines the possibility of detection. Without sufficient time, evaluation cannot occur. What is not evaluated cannot be selected, and what is not selected does not enter reality. You think you skipped it, that you saw it and decided it wasn't worth your time. But most of what you ignore never reached that point. There was no moment of decision, no pause, no comparison. It didn't lose. It was never given the chance to exist for you. Rejection requires exposure. Exposure requires duration. Duration requires interruption. Without interruption, there is no decision point. What appears as choice is often the absence of access. Non-selection is not evaluation. It is omission. It doesn't feel like something is missing because nothing ever interrupts the flow. You keep moving, scrolling, switching, continuing. And over time, that movement starts to feel natural, expected, like this is just how things are. So you stop noticing what isn't there because it was never there long enough to matter. Repetition stabilizes perception. Consistency removes friction. A frictionless environment eliminates awareness of absence. What is continuously presented defines expectation. Expectation defines normality. And normality does not require verification. It's not just what you see, it's what happens inside you. A thought begins, not clear, not finished, just something forming. And before it can become anything, you move on. Not because you rejected it, because you didn't stay with it long enough to let it exist. Internal signals follow the same constraints. Formation requires sustained attention. Without duration, there is no consolidation. What is not stabilized cannot develop, and what does not develop remains unformed. Look around, not at your screen, at people. Same posture, same movement, same rhythm. Scroll, pause, continue. No one stops long enough. No one marks anything. Things pass through and leave no trace. Different lives, same pattern. Patterns scale across individuals. Behaviour synchronizes under shared conditions. When the environment is consistent, the response becomes predictable. Repetition standardizes action. Standardized action removes variation. Without variation, there is no interruption. You think you're choosing, but most of what reaches you has already been selected. You think you're seeing everything that matters, but what you see is what remained after filtering, after ranking, after time ran out. Nothing was taken from you, it just never made it through. Selection precedes awareness. Awareness operates on pre-filtered input. Perceived reality is a subset of available data. Availability is constrained by time and structure. What exceeds these constraints is excluded by default. Exclusion in this system is not an action, it is a condition. You're still watching, still processing, still trying to understand, looking for the moment where this started to make sense. But that moment is already gone. And the part of you that's trying to find it is moving the same way as before. Nothing stopped, so nothing changed. Observation does not suspend the system. Understanding occurs within the same constraints. The attempt to locate a shift follows the existing pattern. No interruption has occurred. Without interruption, there is no transition. And without transition, the system continues unchanged. The ideas are human. The narration is digital. The interpretation is yours.